It's been going on for almost 45 years. Eliminating polio is Rotary's signature program that saves millions of children and others around the world from being maimed or have died. There was over 500,000 cases of polio every year worldwide when Rotary started getting involved in eradicating polio. And since Rotary started in 1978 to eliminate polio, we've raised almost $2 billion. That's our contribution. And if you look at all the money given in the world to combat polio, Rotary is number 2, only behind the United States government. So that's pretty impressive when you think about that. It's our signature program.
I wanted to make sure you understand that polio effort was started by Clem Runniff from Australia. He was president of 1978-79. And he had to overcome a number of big obstacles to get it going, but he did. He was that kind of a person. And I want to let you know, he spent a night in Kirksville in 1979, a couple of days before the event, and he said, "Ray, I have a house guest that'd like to come with me to your meeting. Is that okay?" I said, "Sure. If you want to bring him, that's fine." He said, by the way, his name is Clem Runniff. So Clem came to our banquet. Some of you will remember Martin, Dave, Charlotte. He spoke briefly at our banquet, so we have that connection with the founder of polio. I would say that he invented the oral polio vaccine, was the speaker at the Kansas City Convention in 1985, and about 12 of our members went down and heard him speak. And so when they came home, they were prepared for polio plus. So what I hope today is you understand the importance of eliminating polio.
As you know, there's been major progress in the eradication of polio on the planet. We've gone from several 100,000 cases a year to just a few of the wild polio virus cases. Not being that knowledgeable about world geography and culture, I expected that India would be the last country to be polio-free. Thanks to the huge commitment of Rotarians in India, it was declared polio-free in 2014. But this year's polio alerts in the US, United Kingdom, and Israel are a reminder that as long as the polio virus is found anywhere, it is a potential problem everywhere. No one is safe until everyone is safe. This year I was listening to the NBC Evening News, and a major news item was about the case of polio in Rockland County, New York. That same evening, the CBS News reported the same information. So that's the attention that it was getting nationally in this country. Virus. For years, wastewater monitoring has routinely been implemented in many countries, and this acts as a warning system to identify and rapidly mitigate the spread of many diseases, including poliovirus, hepatitis viruses, and recently even used to identify COVID. More work to be done to totally eradicate polio, and as you would expect, this costs money. The effort is a public-private partnership led by Rotary, a group of national governments, the World Health Organization, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, and numerous others, especially many other countries.
And Polio Plus is one of the programs of the foundation. And if you choose to make a contribution, and if you have any trouble making a contribution, you see, if you get the check to me, I'll see to it that it gets to the foundation under your name and you'll be credited. I just wanted to say something about Jennifer. And Jennifer actually appeared on the scene in Rotary World in the year 2010-11, much to efforts by Ray Klingensmith to push her name forward in the organization. And she, to this day, has a very special place in her heart for Ray, right? Well, I was introduced to her because I was in the class that was of district governors during Ray's year. And I happened then to be I was one of the very first people that had to speak at an event, and it was the foundation dinner, and in the fall of 2010. And she has actually orally given me credit for introducing her out on the Speakers Bureau, and I deserve none of the credit because I delegated all of the work to her. So she has a very special place in my heart as well. And then 5 years went by, and Ralph Capelli was the district governor, and he wanted a special speaker, and in terms of his program chair, it happened to be me, and instructed me to invite Jennifer Jones, and I did, and she was here. She's the first woman president, and she serves at a time when both the presidents of Rotary Clubs in Kirksville are women, incidentally.
Polio has returned to the headlines, and it's again striking fear. We know that the whole world is watching, and while we don't want anyone to live in fear, we should be grateful for this focus. We know that if the polio virus exists anywhere, it threatens children everywhere.
I just think the sacrifice the family's making to eradicate polio is so much larger than what I make when I make a financial contribution of a couple of $100 or whatever it is, all right? That some people are putting it all on the line to get rid of polio. So.